Hi, I thought I would come on here and finally do a little share about what I have been working on creating, creative wise. Um, this work so far in Ignite has been really intense for me. I think just because it began at such the beginning of I feel like I just started this big transformation even in my creative practice after my dad's death, which was just the end of December, and we have his service next week, so a lot of my energy has been going into that and planning for that. But I have been kind of chipping away at some creating, so I also wanted to share a little bit of that in my studio. And it's just different because leading up to my dad's death, I was painting, like just cranking out like journals and like all these. I still have a little sets of them I did at the beach, but like these little studies that I've been turning to like things like this, but just cranking them out and I think that was really just healing for me during that time, and a lot of it felt like messages from ancestral energy was coming through, and I've really only done two of like a journal entry and this tiny little one that I've showed you. That's it. That's all I've done like in the last month. Like for mark making, I haven't even painted. But I have been working with this material that I collected for a long time, these water caps. So I'm gonna actually, let me flip this around. I'm gonna share this. Can I flip this around? Cannot. Okay, that's okay. So I'll show you these. Hopefully you can see that. So I've been collecting these for about a year. And these are, we get our water, like the jugs. And so these are the caps that cover the jugs. And then there's also these little flexi part pieces that like seal it. So I've collected like a ton of these over the year. And I've had this idea in my mind for a long time called Circles in a Square. And I wanted to create a piece with lots of circles in like a square. So as we got into the water cycle, I'm like, oh, the water caps. That's kind of interesting. It just brought me to finally use this material that I've been saving up. So I have two pieces I'm working on, and it goes back to my intention I set for the beginning of all this and for the new year, which was really this exploration of the masculine relationship to the feminine. And so the two pieces I have a big piece of plexiglass that I'm getting shaped at my school actually. And so the circles are going to be in a large piece of plexiglass arranged. I figured out it's going to be 11 rows of 11. And I've been talking to some of you about this idea of numbers has really come up for me a lot in the creative process. And then as I've been creating these other little sculptures, I'm going to show you these. I'm creating these as more like the feminine relationship, but these have been really interesting. They're created with the flexible part of the water caps, but then thread, like embroidery thread. And what's come up for me when I'm creating these is like I'm replaying a lot of relationships I've had with various women that have been challenging, that have been healing, that have been, so the complexities really of female relationships has come up for me when I'm creating these. And there's 13 little parts in each of these, and I'm going to create 11 of these as well. But then these have been kind of fun. I was originally going to do like a giant sculpture of this. Like I thought I could see it kind of hanging or something. But now I also have been playing in the studio a little bit when I go into school, with a little bit of movement to sound, the waves, ocean sound, and this idea of stillness in water. Again, the masculine and feminine coming up for me, but also with light and shadow. So now I'm really feeling like I had my friend come over, who's my neighbor and my really good friend, who's also an artist. And she and I were playing with these parts. And then I started to feel like, gee, I think I don't want to make them set. I think I want to make these pieces be able to be interactive. And I'd like to actually play with them in the light and shadow and see what others want to do in the creating with them in relationship to the light and the shadow. So even my little boy was playing with these the other day, and he figured out, like, he kind of puzzled two parts of them together. It was really cool. So yeah, that's kind of been, this has been like, I've been kind of trying to do one of these a day for over the past week. So I have 7 of them now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I guess I have 6 of them now. I didn't do the one last night, but yeah, so I'm chipping away at that. And then I really, like I said, I haven't been doing a lot of painting or mark making. I have this one, and I had this one, but again, it's kind of that ancestral, I think it feels like a lot of connection to my sister told me this kind of crazy dream she had about dad. Actually, me and my 2 sisters, we all had dreams about my dad on the same night. Like, so he came to us on the same, that was really cool. So anyhow, this other one thing I wanted to show you that I've been playing with is just, I've kind of been into like experimenting with new materials. And so I have here this bucket of water. Yeah, this is kind of slimy now, but it's been here for a while. But these egg cartons, you see, have been sitting in water, and now my son added some paper. But we ended up making kind of almost like this paper clay out of it, which was really actually interesting to work with, and it dries really interesting. Oh, there he is now. Yeah, I'll be right there. See you there in a minute. Okay. I'll come in just a minute, okay? I'll be right there. So the interesting thing about this, this was my son's. He made, we just made 2 little creations, but we're like, oh, it looks like poop. But it's really light when it dries, and it kind of shapes like clay. And I actually had this one little one that turned out just kind of randomly. It looks like a little owl to me. So I might try painting him and see what happens with that. So that was the other kind of inspiration from water that, like, I've just been experimenting with new, kind of creating a new medium or new material. But now I'm babbling, and yeah, this is my studio. I've been getting in here more often, sort of. But yeah. Thanks for letting me babble and share a little bit about where I'm at in the water creation process. Okay, bye-bye.